One of the most incredible things I ever had happen to me in Wonderlands was getting an absolutely cracked spell to drop. It was a ×2 fireball that also summoned Hydras on impact, and of course, it was repeating cast, meaning it had 6 shots in one charge. Needless to say, this was one of the coolest things I got to drop, and oh man did it melt and carry me. So I set out to make a build that it was an homage to that beautiful spell to try to maximize it to the utmost. Now, needless to say, there's not quite a character that buffs up fire in the same way Berserker buffs up ice. Fingers crossed that the new character coming down the pipeline might buff up fire to some extent so this build can get even better, but alas, this is what I have for you guys. Let me introduce to you my Phoenix Horde build. Quite the mouthful.
Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. I was deaf to the ringing bells.
You sense a great danger nearby!
So, as you guys can see, the build gets absolutely crazy when it comes to fire spells. Now, that was our main goal when trying to buff up good old homage to a spell that I love dearly, but also this build, I took the opportunity to kind of mess with things that I've seen so much, and I've seen so much potential in, and I've just never had a good place to really slot these mechanics in. For instance, there's a really cool combo that I seen a long time ago, which is basically a Deathless, which is a class mod that nukes your health and buffs your shield, basically putting you at 1 health all the time, giving you low health, which in the Graveborn skill tree near the end of its capstone also has a spell that rewards you various bonuses for being low health. Not only that, but there is also an enchantment that does the same thing, but that enchantment also heals you, which takes away that effect, but if you have the Deathless, then it will always keep you at 1 health. Not only this, but this gives you an absolute boatload of shield, granted you already have a decent amount of shield, or health. Yeah, so this functionally gives us like 55 or so bonus damage to everything across the board. Now yes, there are class mods that buff up fire damage, but it's not a lot. It's really bad. There are things in this game that are scaled like a gorilla did it or some horrible. I shit on gorillas for no reason. Sorry. Anyways, the other mechanic that I loved to bits was in the Graveborn specific skill tree that is called Faithful Thralls and Dark Hydras. Dark Hydras are self-explanatory. We cast spells, we summon Hydras because we detonate a kill skill because we cast spells, and we get a Dark Hydra out of it. Neat. Healing, which is irrelevant to us. It's mostly damage, is why we're there. But one of the things I seen back in the day was how absolutely cracked Faithful Thralls is. Faithful Thralls will give you more stacked damage to all sources for more companions in the area, or that you summon. So, of course, us having this spell, our main spell that we're building around, summoning us 6 Hydras with 1 cast, or sequence of casts, with repeating cast, having been in the world space, we'll get up to 6 Faithful Thralls immediately. Now, because we have this Deathless shield kind of hybridization, we're going to need a way to repair our shield quite quickly. Now, if only there was a specific weapon type that awarded you immense applause every single time you reload, and if only there was a specific character that every single time you throw a weapon and or reload a weapon, you gain a stack of spell shot weaving, which gives you, in turn, shield charge. And because we have such a stupidly high dense shield, 1 reload, which also feeds into Faithful Thralls, giving us more damage, will also feed into us becoming more durable and stronger and basically healing. A huge chunk of health with every throw instead of every kill or whatever. That's what's happening. I should have said, yeah, spell shot feeds into Faithful Thralls because we're reloading a lot. Also, I gave you an absolute plethora of weapons to use. Don't look at that one. It's just for bossing. It's there because if I didn't put it in there, I'd be an asshole. Like, who's not gonna put this in a spell? Well, you're crazy. All right, don't use it if you're upset. God damn you. But truth be told, actually, the shotgun that I'm giving you guys as well is insane. Is absolutely breathtaking. Beautiful. And again, there's the Fear Not if you're wanting to kind of melt some bosses. You know, even the raid bosses is gonna be kind of your saving grace. And that's kind of the things going on within the skill tree. I'll cover some other things I didn't in the actual explanation part of it, but that's essentially the overview. You guys have a bunch of Fear Not weapons weapons that do perform. You guys can use a variety of fire spells, which are actually incredibly fun to use. We're also benefiting from one of the class mods that I couldn't really find a place within any other build, which of course is the Deathless and Graveborn comp, which to me works beautifully, especially if you're also using Furiors to kind of stack Faithful Thralls and also repair your shield. It just works perfectly, and we can avoid a lot of the Graveborn's like healing factor, because frankly dark magic does not heal you very well. There's like caps on it, and like it's just basically regen regardless if you have a ton of nodes of dark magic coming in, which is kind of stupid, but I digress. But essentially, my friends, that is the build overview. Now let's get on to the point of the video where most people can't make it through. So first things first, let's explain this. So right here we have damage reduction and a good bit of damage when we are at low health. Now because we are messing with this specific class mod that reduces our health to 1 and gives us a ton of shield capacity but lowers our shield delay, we are gaining that constantly. We're always low health, we are always getting the benefit of that. Not only that, but there is this enchantment that I already mentioned to you, which is giving us a 30% bonus to damage dealt, which is beautiful. It's also giving us healing, but we don't want that, and that's what actually helps with this, is it keeps us at low health regardless. But it also gives us a lot of shield. Now, you guys can see that this also makes it so you have a huge shield recharge delay, meaning it does not come back very fast, which is fine because we've sequenced in with the other thing I want to play with this build, which is Faithful Thralls. We're essentially getting 15 damage dealt to everything just by having companions out in the world space. And of course, what is one of the best ways to get Faithful Thralls? Not only that spell that I was talking about that summons a bunch of Hydras, it's the Fireball Hydra spell I was talking to you guys about, but also our weaponry itself, basically summoning a lot. Every single time we reload, we are getting another companion friendo. Brilliant, so we're getting a lot of Faithful Thralls. Not only that, but we are basically having to reload a lot, so why not also get ourselves an incredible amount of sustain with this? 10% of our ward/shield will come back with each throw. Not only that, but we're actually going to probably reallocate some skill points here and actually get a lot more reload speed, because this can actually give us an insane amount of tankiness, because we have a crazy heavy shield. I think we have around 15k health, so one reload gives us a fair chunk of that back, around 2,000. Most dots, at least with player damage, doesn't deal that much damage. Not only that, but we're extra resistant, because yeah, that's essentially what you need to know. Also, you're building spell stack weaving, so you're stacking that up as much as humanly possible. Good. Everything else here is damage. Also, every single time you cast a spell, you will detonate kill skills, which can summon forth more Dark Hydras, which I do believe count towards your Faithful Thralls. You'll have an absolutely high amount of damage dealt bonus with this. Also, if your Lich ever goes down, he's coming back literally in a couple seconds. So cool. As far as gear goes, let me quickly tell you a quick TLDR of what the hell is happening with this. I basically run all around the whole Wonderlands community, within my community, within other people's communities. I try out save files all the time. I love it. I love this aspect of the community. So I get gear from everywhere. Not only that, but I've recently basically opted out of the Ascended volatile kind of rat race because I hate it so much. So that whenever I get a gear to drop, I basically can change the volatile to Ascended. So I do that. I do change that specifically within gear, as well as with some of the spells. I will change these if I know that they can be changed in a way that I've seen them be changed before. But if there is anything that you feel uncomfortable with, just throw it away or let me know and I won't include it in any other videos if it cannot exist. But yes, please, again, my main goal is just to have fun and give you a cool way to interface with the game. But let's just get into that gear. So we have the Goblin Pickaxe, of course, Dark Magic to give us a little bit of healing. But the main thing here is the Dark Magic Goblin Pickaxe specifically has an insanely high attack speed, essentially. So you're going to be able to detonate Archmage really quickly, reducing your spell cooldown, which is practically nothing anyway, really fast. It basically just sequences, which is why we have it. Not only that, but every single time we pick up money, we're going to be getting various bonuses to the things we want, like spell cooldown, so it's just really good. Now, as far as our shield, we're mainly using this one, just getting more fire damage. There's plenty of options for shields that you can use, but this is the one I like the most, and have fun with whichever one you like. So yeah, as far as the weapons we're using, this is an amazing weapon that's across the board. You can slap this on just about anything and it will perform. Of course, fear not, because it's just a goddamn powerhouse. This is the thing that you're going to want to use for bossing, but I understand that people are a little bit bored of it at this point, but I gave you a bunch of other options that work. But of course, fear not, nuts, crazy, cracked, all that. If you think I'm talking fast, it's because I know people can't handle a lot of this, including myself, frankly. But quick spell highlight. Note that there are more spells in the build, but you'll have to discover some of them for yourself. But these are the ones that are kind of the most insane. So first things first, Buffmeister, insane. This will make you basically melt any boss. Flamethrower is shockingly good. Use that one. This one right here, which is the one that releases fireballs, that actually releases Dark Hydras in your wake after casting them. Repeating cast is good, and it's good for stacking Faithful Thralls. This one is also very, very good. Just being able to spawn this, because repeating cast innately nukes the damage output of spells anyway, they actually end up sequencing in terms of these ones being better damage, and also it's a pain in the ass sometimes to just hold down the trigger. Whereas if you just cast twice, it's pretty fast and pretty easy. Regardless, this is an absolute tentpole of the whole build and spell. But repeating cast is also very, very good, and the one that I'll probably be leaving you with. You'll get both, but yeah, I'll force you to use one of them when you load into the save file. Now again, just like the dark magic build we made with the buff to pools of acid on the ground, this one is absolutely crazy. Just these damage over time effects just chew up enemies brutally. And again, repeating cast, you can sprinkle this whole area in fire death that will basically nuke enemies' health bars big time. And of course, I gave you various versions of repeating cast, which is basically more damage output but takes a longer time to cast. And then of course just higher quick cast but does a lot more damage all at once. Give you guys options, as I try to do. There's the ability to throw a giant nuke bomb, pop, and yeah. Laser cannon, many people have shown, absolutely freakishly good, but also kind of a one and done wonder. It does come back quite quick though, but still. Of course, eruption is absolutely freakish and just monstrous, crazy, disgusting, all that. Yes, fantastical spells all around, but this is the bread and butter. It does great and does a lot of damage and gives you insane faithful Thrall stacks. Can't speak. Also speaking far too quickly for time's sake. As far as this goes, simple as this. Critical damage, also status damage. If you feel like you don't have enough cooldown rate, get more cooldown rate for your spells. But ultimately, because we're just basically a whole mess of damage, things will be dead real fast, essentially. Yes. Also, yes. Everything else in the build you can infer from and understand what's happening. Love you. Bye. So that is how you piece it together. Let us jump into the Chaos Chambers as I ramble at you guys one final time. The Chaos Chambers is the most endgame aspect of the game. So let's see how our build fares in that, going through the chambers and seeing what kind of momentum it can maintain. Just so you guys know, you can get this save file just by downloading it, by going to our Discord, going to the Wonderland tab, going below it. It says Hall of Fame. Click on that. It'll be the same video you see there. Scroll until you'll find it. There is going to be 2 save files for you. One of those save files is Chaos level 50 unlocked with a bunch of currency for the DLC, as well as a bunch of currency in general. Max Munor, the whole shebang. The second save file is a synthetic New Game Plus, which basically allows you to take the build and go through the entire story, the entire quest, the entire side quests, all again, and unlock the whole kind of like D&D board of quests. All that stuff is ready to play and ready for you to dig into again. Check that out if you actually want a synthetic New Game Plus. Now, you might be saying, well, Grin, I'm on PS4 or console and I can't get this gear. It's too cracked. How can I possibly obtain this? Don't worry, my friend, because Wonderlands is a cross-play game. I can actually load in and drop you some gear. I can drop you the entire save file. You will have to grind up the sufficient characters that we're using, which is Spellshot and Greyborn, which I imagine a lot of you already have. That's also why we're making builds for these 2 characters, because it's a lot to remake or replay the whole game for a singular character. But please listen carefully. Every single Sunday, not every single, most Sundays, until people start like lessening heavily, but every single Sunday we will drop this build for you guys. Sunday, okay? Sunday's the build video where I drop the gear for you. So how do you go about getting me to drop the build for you? Every single Sunday we are going to be streaming at Twitch and we will be dropping the build at a specific time in which I say we're gonna usually stream for like a little bit, and then I'll say, okay, come on guys, I'll drop all the build for you if you want. Some people were messaging me saying, can I drop it anytime at all? No, I'm not. This is not all I do, but I'm entirely willing to work with you and help you out. So again, every single Sunday over at Twitch, I stream. I will upload a video saying we're going live on this channel, or on my streaming channel, which is GRINN. And yes, I will just stay in the chat, and as soon as I say floodgates are open, let's go, you can pester me a little bit, make sure I'm not over time, etc. And then you will send me a friend request over Epic or Shift. I will accept it, you will tell me your name, I'll jump in your world, drop the shit, and we'll be good to go. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hearing me out. I will continue to cover a variety of games on this channel, but I am still very much enjoying Wonderlands, but I'm extremely excited for games like Cult of the Lamb, as well as Saints Row. Hopefully you guys are interested in seeing some of those, because frankly, I just want another game to play, and those games look like fun games to play. So, alas, hopefully you guys will give those games a warm welcome. Thank you kindly for your time, of course, and goodbye, my friends. Also, consider checking out this video. Bye!